If you feel disappointed with your life, if you have ever looked at yourself and thought, "I'm not enough, something in me is broken," then listen carefully, because what you believe is your greatest weakness might be the very reason something beautiful is still alive in your life. Most people spend years trying to hide their flaws. They compare, they judge, they feel ashamed, and slowly, without even realizing it, they begin to reject parts of themselves. But here is the uncomfortable truth. Sometimes the thing you are trying to fix is not meant to be fixed. Sometimes it is meant to be understood. And if you never understand it, you might spend your entire life feeling incomplete, even when you were never broken to begin with. This is not just another story. This story might change everything, a life lesson you will never forget. And as you listen, you won't just feel something, you will also learn something. Because through this story, you will naturally pick up new English words, phrases, and expressions, simple, powerful language that speaks directly to the heart. So don't just listen, observe the words, the emotions, the meaning behind each sentence. Now, let me tell you a story. Long ago, in a quiet village surrounded by dusty roads and open fields, there lived a humble farmer. His life was simple, almost ordinary. Yet hidden within his daily routine was a truth so powerful that most people spend their entire lives without ever discovering it. Every morning before the sun even touched the horizon, he would begin his long walk to a distant well. And every day, without fail, he carried something with him. Something that looked ordinary, but carried a secret that could change the way you see yourself forever. Every day, before the first light of dawn touched the Zemlu, the farmer followed the same quiet routine. He would rise in the darkness when the world was still asleep, when even the birds had not yet begun their morning songs. Without a word, without hesitation, he would step outside his small home, breathe in the cool air, and prepare for the long walk ahead. Across his shoulders, he carried a simple wooden stick, and tied to each end of that stick hung 2 clay pots. Every day he walked the same dusty path to a distant well. Every day he filled both pots with fresh, clear water. And every day he carried them all the way back home. It was a routine so ordinary, so repetitive, that no one would ever stop to think about it. But hidden inside this simple journey was a story waiting to be told. One of the pots was perfect in every way. Its surface was smooth and flawless, not a single crack, not a single imperfection. It held every drop of water securely, never losing anything along the way. It did exactly what it was meant to do, and it knew it. The other pot was different. On its side, there was a small crack, not large enough to break it, but enough to change everything. As the farmer walked back home each day, water would slowly leak from that crack, drop by drop, until nearly half of it was gone before reaching its destination. And although the farmer said nothing, something was quietly beginning to grow between the 2 pots. The perfect pot was proud, not just a little proud, but deeply, quietly convinced that it was better. Every day, as they swayed gently on the wooden stick, it would look at the other pot and think to itself, "I do my job perfectly. I lose nothing. I am exactly what I was made to be." And the cracked pot heard that silence, because sometimes silence can speak louder than words. Day after day, the cracked pot watched as water slowly slipped from its side, drop by drop, leaving a faint trail along the dusty road. At first, it tried not to care. It told itself, "This is just the way I am." But over time, something inside began to change. Doubt, then shame, then a quiet, growing belief that it was not good enough. And every day that belief became heavier. But then something strange happened. One morning, as the sun slowly rose and painted the sky with soft gold, the perfect pot finally spoke. Its voice was sharp, cold, and filled with quiet arrogance. "Look at you," it said. "You are completely useless." The cracked pot trembled. "Every day you lose half of what you carry. The farmer works so hard, and you waste his effort. Why does he even keep you? You are nothing but a burden." The words cut deep, deeper than the crack itself. The cracked pot said nothing, but inside something broke even more. From that day on, the journey felt longer, heavier, more painful. And if you have ever felt like this, like no matter how hard you try, it's never enough, then you already understand this moment. If this story feels like your life, comment 1 below. Let others know they are not alone, because what happens next might change how you see your own struggles. Days passed. The farmer continued his routine, unaware of the silent battle happening between the two pots. Until one day, the cracked pot could not bear it anymore. As they walked under the burning sun, tears began to mix with the leaking water. Its voice, trembling and weak, finally broke the silence. "Master, I am so sorry." The farmer stopped. He had never heard the pot speak before. "Why are you crying, my friend?" he asked gently. And for the first time, the cracked pot spoke its truth. "I am ashamed," it said. "I am broken. Every day I fail you. You walk so far, you carry so much, and because of me, half of your effort is wasted. I am nothing but a burden." The road fell silent. For a moment, the world seemed to pause. Then the farmer smiled. Not a laugh, not surprise. A soft, knowing smile. "Oh, is that what has been in your heart all this time?" The cracked pot said nothing. "Do not worry," the farmer continued. "Tomorrow, I will show you something." And that night, for the first time in a long while, the cracked pot felt something different. Not shame, not pain, but a small, fragile hope. The next day, everything seemed the same path, the same sun, the same journey. But something was different. As they walked back from the well, the farmer spoke again. "Today, look carefully at the ground beside you." The cracked pot lowered its gaze, and what it saw made it pause. Along its side of the path, flowers were blooming, bright, colorful, alive. They danced gently in the morning breeze, their petals glowing under the sunlight. Drops of water rested on them like tiny diamonds. For a moment, the cracked pot forgot its pain. "How beautiful," it whispered. But when they reached home, reality returned. It looked at itself again, still cracked, still leaking, still imperfect. "Master," it said softly, "even after seeing those flowers, I still failed. I still could not bring you a full pot of water." The farmer sat down beside it, and once again, he smiled. "No, my dear friend," he said gently, "you have not understood yet." And what he said next changed everything. The farmer looked at both pots, his eyes calm-filled with a quiet wisdom that only time can teach. "My dear friend," he said softly, turning to the cracked pot, "tell me, on which side of the path did you see those flowers?" The cracked pot hesitated. On my side," it replied. "And did you see any flowers on the other side?" The cracked pot slowly realized the truth. "No, there were none." The farmer nodded gently. "That is because," he said, "I have always known about your crack." The cracked pot froze. "I knew it from the very beginning. And because I understood your nature, I planted flower seeds along your side of the path." The air grew still. "Every single day," the farmer continued, "as we walked back home, the water you thought was wasted was watering those seeds. Drop by drop, without knowing, you gave them life." The cracked pot felt something shift deep inside. And over time, the farmer said, his voice warm like sunlight, "Those seeds grew into flowers. Beautiful flowers that bring joy to my journey, and to everyone who walks that path." The cracked pot could no longer speak. Its tears fell again. But this time they were not filled with shame. They were filled with understanding. And that's where everything began to change. For the first time, it no longer saw itself as broken. It saw itself as meaningful, not perfect, but purposeful. Not flawless, but valuable in a way no one else could be. The perfect pot, which had been listening in silence, suddenly felt something it had never felt before. Not pride, but humility. I did not see this," it said quietly. "I thought being perfect meant being better, but I understand now. I was blind." It turned toward the cracked pot. "I am sorry. I judged you without understanding your story." The cracked pot, now filled with peace, replied gently, "We both had something to learn." From that day forward, everything changed. The perfect pot carried water, but no longer with pride. The cracked pot leaked water, but no longer with shame. They walked the same path every day, but now with a new understanding. One brought water to the farmer's home, the other brought life to the road, and together they made the journey complete. This story teaches us a powerful truth, one that many people spend their entire lives trying to understand. The cracked pot is not just a pot, it is you. It is every part of you that you have ever tried to hide, every flaw you wished you could fix, every weakness that made you feel less than, and the perfect pot that is also you. The part that tries to be strong, to be flawless, to prove your worth. sometimes even at the cost of kindness and understanding. And the farmer represents life itself, because life does not see you the way you see yourself. Where you see failure, life may be creating something meaningful. Where you feel broken, life may be using that very crack to bring beauty into the world. Life is exactly like this. We often judge ourselves too quickly. We look at what we've lost instead of what we've created. We focus on what is missing instead of what is growing quietly because of us. How many times have you felt like the cracked pot, ashamed of something about yourself? A past mistake, a limitation, a part of your personality you wish you could change. But what if that very thing has already helped someone? What if your pain made you more compassionate? What if your struggles made you stronger? What if your imperfection is the reason someone else feels understood? And what about the times you were the perfect pot, proud, certain, quick to judge, not realizing that everyone you meet is carrying a story you cannot see? Remember this: nobody is perfect, and nobody is useless. We are all necessary in different ways. Some people bring strength, some people bring beauty, some people bring healing, some people bring lessons, and sometimes the people who feel the most broken are the ones quietly making the biggest difference.